and welcome to your May 2018 love reading with Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you for joining me today, whether it's your first time here or you're a return viewer subscriber. Thank you. And if you find that the messages in this video are not resonating with you, then I do suggest you check out your moon sign, your rising sign, and sometimes even your Venus sign, because those planets could be more prominent in your chart. All right, guys, so and for all my cross watchers out there that are looking for the Aquarius video, for some reason that video, the sound didn't upload or didn't come through, so I've got to do the video over, and that'll be coming. So everybody, all 12 signs are going to come out this month. I'm also going to do the relationship reading for all 12 signs, so bear with me, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get into this reading, Aries. All right. Current energy is the Five of Wands, and I feel like this Five of Wands has been lingering around in your readings for a few months now, Aries. So what's going on with the Five of Wands? Okay, where the Five of Wands does indicate there's conflict. The conflict could come in the form of you fighting with your partner, disagreements, bickering, arguing. The conflict can also come in the form of competition. Okay, you may have people vying for your attention, which causes conflict in your relationship, or vice versa. Your partner or your lover could have people who are vying for their attention, and you feel like you're part of, this competition to get their affection. Okay, but the conflict can also be internal. Okay, so maybe you're conflicted about something, Aries. That could be one aspect. Okay, because I'm here looking at your what's crossing you, right? And we've got the Judgment in reverse. So for some of you guys, you are having conflict with a Scorpio, okay? For others of you, the conflict, what's crossing you, or what could be your challenge, is that you are denying your true feelings about something, or you're avoiding the truth about something. All right, the Judgment in reverse represents that you might have made a poor judgment or poor decision about something, and now the results of that are beginning to manifest. Okay, so Judgment in reverse is like also being unable to let go of negative feelings. All right, so maybe something has happened in the past and you're unable to let go of those feelings, and that may drive some of this conflict. Okay, also with Judgment in reverse, this can indicate that there's a pending breakup, okay? Because Judgment is kind of like the make it or break it card. So Aries, for some of you guys, this is a make it or break it time with you and someone in your life, okay? Going on to your past energy, what you're coming out of is the Three of Cups in reverse. So the Three of Cups in reverse can indicate a messy love triangle. But also it can represent a time where you felt like there was a lack of fun or a lack of happiness, okay? For some of you, this represents that you had multiple options. So for some of my Aries, that's a recurring theme here with this having multiple options, and now these options are causing you conflict in your current situation. All right, and for others of you, the Three of Cups in reverse just can represent that there were financial stresses on your relationship. All right, so your relationship was going through issues because financially you just were not able to do things that you wanted or needed to do. All right, and for others, the Three of Cups in reverse can just indicate that you met someone through your friends, or you met someone at an event, okay? And maybe that's the person that you're having this conflict with here. All right, moving forward to your future energy, and we have the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. So that represents kind of letting your guard down, kind of opening up a little bit. Okay, this represents letting go of something. So it could be letting go of, that insecurity that you felt. You're feeling more secure, which allows you to open up a little bit more. For others, this Four of Pentacles represents feelings that come unexpectedly, okay? Because you are now more open, right? And so maybe even though you're not trying to be, your feelings for someone or your feelings within a relationship, is you can't hold them in anymore. So they just come pouring out, okay? You're opening up to your partner more if you're in a relationship, okay? or you're just more open to relationships in general. All right, so that's what the Four of Pentacles in reverse can indicate. Going on now to what you want, and we've got the World in reverse, okay? So once again, it's like, okay, why would somebody want the end of something? World in reverse can indicate boredom, can indicate disappointments, but also the World in reverse represents the sudden ending of something. Okay, closure, no completion. So it's like, why do you want that? For some of you, you want to end something, and that may be where this conflict is coming in. Maybe there's something going on that you want to put an end to. For some of you, this indicates the ending of a long-term relationship. So whether you make that happen, for some reason that's lurking around in the what you want position. You guys know I don't like negative cards in that position. So I pull another card for you guys, and we get the Death card. Okay, so some of you want to end something with a Scorpio. Others of you want to end something in general, okay? And this Scorpio placement now, this is the second card that indicates a Scorpio. So definitely there are Aries out there that are having issues with a Scorpio, okay? Some of you want to end a cycle with the Scorpio. You guys have been going through maybe a negative or a rough cycle. So it may not necessarily be the end of a relationship, but you just might want to end the end of this cycle, okay? And because the world is in reverse, to me that indicates that the cycle wasn't the most positive. Okay, so that can be one. So before everybody's like, oh, what do you mean? I don't want to break up with my Scorpio. I love them. I understand that. But for some, that could indicate breakup. But for most, I feel like it's just the end of a cycle that you're going through. Others of you, you want to end something with, is the world Capricorn? I gotta verify that. I'll put it in the description bar, but I'm drawing a blank right now. I think the world represents Capricorn. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to your internal factor, and we have the Tower. Okay, Aries. So some of you definitely are feeling a little bit. I would even say destructive. Okay. Um, the Tower can indicate that you want to end something. You want to end it suddenly. So for some of you, there's something going on that you just want to bring an end to it, and quickly. Haste makes waste, right? You guys just want to end something. There's something like you've gotten to the boiling point, or you've gotten to the point with something where you're just like, look, I just can't go any further with this. But for others, this Tower can indicate that you may have sudden and unexpected feelings for someone, okay? Suddenly you realizing, and I see that here flowing into the future energy with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So it's like your feelings for someone suddenly bubble up to the surface, and you have to deal with that, because where the Tower does indicate destruction, it does also indicate things that happen suddenly, okay, that change things. And so these sudden feelings that you're having is going to change everything for you. um, yes, you may want to end a relationship, but you may have it's like you want to overhaul your whole entire love life, okay? It's like you want to kind of start from scratch. And so if for some of you in a long-term relationship, this could be causing a little bit of tension and friction because, your partner is trying to understand. Most other people don't understand sudden changes in your emotions like that, or your sentimentality, right? They're like, why, wait a minute, you don't ever act like this. Why are you acting like this now? What's going on? So for some of you, you're realizing how you feel about someone in a positive way. For some of you, you may be realizing how you feel about someone in a negative way, okay? And trying to make changes towards that. And that other person may be caught a little bit off guard by that, okay? For some of you, this is going to cause you to do things that, bring about conflict. Okay, unexpected conflict, because you're not going to realize that your actions going to cause. It's like a cause and effect, right? So for some of you, this sudden change in your actions, or these sudden destructive actions, for some of you, if you're doing things, you know, mixing here, looking back to this Five of Wands with let's just look at it as far as internal conflicts, right? If you're feeling conflicted internally about something, because you feel like you've made a bad judgment call in the past, or there's something going on with you that's causing you to make bad decisions. Okay, Aries? So now you compound this bad decision making with this destructive this destructive energy that's going on with you now. So for some of you, this is definitely going to be the end of something, because you're just going to do things that maybe the other person cannot deal with. All right. And maybe you don't even mean to do these things. Maybe you just don't even know why, because it can be unseen forces with this Five of Wands. Okay. Five of Wands can indicate unseen conflicts, like being driven by unseen forces. All right, so you guys may want to pay attention to that, because if you feel like you're out of sorts, if you feel like you're doing things that are not you, you might want to take a step back, all right, and just see why it is. Before you do something that may have ramifications on a relationship, you want to say, okay, look, why am I doing this again? What am I feeling that's causing me to do this? Is there any foundation for these feelings? All right, I'm starting to feel like this is a Pisces reading, but let me go ahead and move on to your advice card for the reading, and it's the Ace of Swords, okay? So the Ace of Swords is like, look, you've got to see through illusions, okay? Either your own or what others are showing you. The Ace of Swords is about opening your mind, using your logic, okay? Gaining mental clarity. So especially if you feel like, you're just conflicted about things, you got to get some clarity about what you're conflicted about. Is it your actions? Is it the actions of someone else? Is it, something you've done in the past and now you feel bad about it? What are you conflicted about? Gain that mental clarity and put effort into making the change that you want, okay? And try to, be clear and honest with others, because the Ace of Swords can represent clear communication. So I feel like you have to find a way to clearly let others know why you feel the way that you feel, why you're doing the things that you're doing, what this change is, why you want to change things all of a sudden. Sometimes, especially if you're in a relationship or a long term, if you're single, you can do whatever you want, right? You can just wake up tomorrow and change, and it's going to affect very few people. But if you're in a relationship, you can't just suddenly get up and change everything around, because there is another person who these changes are going to affect. So you're going to have to find a way to communicate this with the person in your life. All right, guys. Moving on to the external factor, we've got the Emperor. All right. So, for some of you guys, you could be dealing with another Aries. So for my Aries couple, you may be going through something where one of you guys are changing your tune all of a sudden, and it's just unexpected, but it does look like it's a karmic situation. Okay. Um, for others, this is how you're seen. Okay, so right now it looks like Aries, and you may be taking control of a situation that you previously kind of just let go, and now you feel like you want to get control of it, and your way of getting control of it may be to just destroy how things were before. Okay, because you seem to have this theme here of just transformation and change, and you know what, I don't like how things happened before, and now I'm going to make these changes now. This is how I'm feeling now, and this is where we're going to go. And that can be considered like a boss move there, right? Because you're not really taking into consideration what the other person thinks or wants. It's all about what you want. It's your way or the highway. You don't care how these changes are going to affect the other person. And that's a very emperor-like energy, okay? For others, there could just be someone in your environment, a father figure, or someone who gives you advice. All right, someone who has influence over you or your situation, or even someone that has control over you. Okay, Aries, so maybe, that's what's causing all this conflict, is that there's another person that has said, hey, look, you know, some of the things that you've done before, some of the decisions that you made before haven't been that great, and they're kind of trying to give you some advice, okay? And maybe their advice to you is to cut out some of the things that you've been doing that you don't need to be doing. And that's going to resonate with some Aries, all right? Moving on to your hopes and your fears, and you've got the Nine of Wands. So I feel like you fear that this, for some of you, you fear more drama and conflict, okay? For others, you fear that you have issues about a codependent relationship, For others, you may be paranoid, okay? You're paranoid that, especially if there was a three-way situation going on that you were a part of, Aries, you're kind of fearing that your partner is going to do the same thing to you, okay? So it's like maybe even though you're rectifying that situation now, sometimes we fear what we do, right? Because we know that there's karma in situations, and you've got a lot of karma in this reading, okay, Aries? So your concern may be that whatever you've done in the past with this bad judgment or these, bad judgment calls, bad decisions that you made, you're kind of concerned that, this may come back to you in the future. All right. Moving on to the outcome card for this reading, we've got the Temperance in reverse. So for some of you, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, okay? That's others of you, temperance in reverse represents a lack of harmony, okay? For others, it can represent hanging on to something or someone, okay? Not moving on from something or someone, all right? Um, Temperance is about balance, so there's a severe lack of balance and harmony when temperance is in the reverse. And it can indicate that someone is giving much more in a relationship than the other person, all right? And also for some of you, this can indicate that you may be slightly even addicted to someone, because temperance in reverse is all about imbalance. And, sometimes when we're out of balance, that represents an addiction, okay? When you want too much of something, when you want too much of anything, that disturbs the balance. And addiction is that, factor of wanting someone all the time, wanting more and more and more of a person. And that can definitely be represented by temperance in reverse. All right, guys, so that has been your May reading, Aries. At this point, I'm going to get into the extended readings, and where I'm going to pull clarifiers for some of these positions to see if we can get some more meaning, some more answers. And if you're interested in that, you can check out the eye icon on the right-hand side of your screen. It'll give you information on how to get the extended. It'll give you information on how to order a personal reading also from me. All right, guys? So also, if you're interested in winning a monthly reading, I have a Patreon site set up, and you can head over there to find out how to enter yourself to win a free monthly reading. Okay, Aries, so thank you once again for joining me. Let me know in the comments, guys, how this video resonated for you, if it didn't. And, like I said, if it's not coming through for you, that's okay. You don't have to try to force it. Some of this is just not for you. But like I said, check out your moon, your rising, or even your Venus. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you at the next video. Bye, Aries.